She is Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern, the Lego thing.
Let's put that right there. Look at that.
You were a yellow lantern or something.
Yeah, of course.
I'm joking.
All
just
will.
because she's afraid of everything?
No, I'm joking.
Well, no, because the yellow lantern
Yeah, of course.
here.
Well, speaking of, Jessica is afraid. She has a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
Is that part of her character development in this movie?
Very much so, absolutely. It's dealt with in a more lighthearted manner. Obviously, it's more Lego and it's a fun movie. But it's definitely addressed in this film. You're going to see her as more of a very not so confident member of the Justice League. Superman's like, time for our big superhero entrance, and Jessica's like, oh God, who would want to miss that? So you'll see her. Oh, she's here. She's here. I love her.
You're wearing green too.
I tried really hard to find a green dress, so you'll definitely see that in here, and she'll have moments where she doesn't quite get it together, other moments where she succeeds beautifully, which I think is just such a relatable quality that's more like real life. We don't all just go out and get amazing things done like this, and so I think there's a lot of people that feel really connected to her because she is someone that they can relate to in a more realistic way.
We've seen in the comics that she sort of struggles with the constructs when she's using her lanterning. Is that something we're going to see as well in this? She's going to screw up a little bit?
Oh, yes. There's one moment where she's like, don't screw this up, don't screw this up. And she screws it up. And then there's a moment where there's like no pressure, and she's like, oh good, safety, no one's watching, and she makes this amazing construct that's like super, it's just like super strong. So that's just like life, it's like I could do it now and no one's watching, right? So yes, you'll definitely see her struggle with her constructs, making the wrong one at the wrong time, and it's a really good continuity and a more lighthearted approach to what the traditional comics do.
So this is the first time that most of everyone is going to learn who Jessica Cruz is and see her as this first female Green Lantern. How was that for you? Like, did you feel any pressure going into this character, or is it just all excitement?
I guess a little of both. It was just a tremendous honor, and when I was cast in the role, and whenever I'm cast in a role, I go and I research, and there was no one else who had voiced her before. There was nothing, and I'm like a big nerd. I need to research. I want to know the history. I want to know everything, and there was just nothing. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is a huge moment in history. As a daughter of a Peruvian immigrant, my mother grew up in Mexico. Having a chance to represent the first Hispanic Green Lantern, that's just an incredible honor. And I love that DC is pushing this character and bringing her out. Representing more diversity in the media is incredibly powerful. A huge percent of the United States and the world is Hispanic, and especially here in the U.S., Latin American descent. So I think that's really important that they did, and now there are little girls who are going to grow up, of all different, cultures and backgrounds that are going to see, wow, there's a Hispanic superhero, and I didn't have that when I was a little girl, and I know it would have made a huge difference to me, so I love that. It's very exciting.
I'm also Peruvian.
Yeah,
I'm Hispanic too. So
excellent.
I am too, and luckily we had Punch. Remember Punch?
You also voiced Jessica in DC Superhero Girls?
Yeah, I did it for the YouTube series.
Yes, for the YouTube series.
We did a little character arc for that.
Yes.
And we did,
which was excellent.
Oh, thank you. That one was really fun, and I loved the art style. It was just beautiful.
Do you approach Jessica differently in both of these, like Lego World versus YouTube
This one's
World?
a little bit more adult, I would say. The one was, again, more of a teenage. But this still has a youthful feeling to her, and I think it adds into the fact that she's really new, and she doesn't know what she's doing. So you have like the more confident superhero, like the very powerful voices, and then she's like, okay, am I in the right place? So I think you can definitely feel her insecurity and her lack of confidence through that quality.
But there's something appealing about a hero that's either a little reluctant or kind of learning as they go, because that's kind of like we all are, right?
No, that's life, and for those who have read the comic books, there's a moment in the comics that Sam Humphries wrote where Jessica is speaking to her sister, and she says, I don't know why the ring picked me. I'm like the last person that should be picked for this. I'm afraid of everything. And Jessica's sister says, no, you're the perfect person. You face fear and you battle fear every day. you were made to be a Green Lantern because they have to channel their willpower in order to overcome great fear. That's everything. That's what Green Lanterns are about. And so I was just, that was a huge epiphany for me, and I was like, wow, what an incredibly powerful concept. Because it's not, we all experience fear. It's about not letting it control and dictate our actions. That's the power, and that's the human experience. So I love that they've created this character and are bringing that out. I think it's going to give a lot of people, those who deal with anxiety and those who are just normal people, have more courage in their daily lives.
You really did dive in. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm a big nerd.
I appreciate it.
Not apologize.
For that, actually.
No, I think it's, I mean, I'd like to do a full research of it, and I wanted, again, I knew I was the first person to be this character, and I wanted to have a full understanding of those who had been with her from the beginning, of what they experienced, and what that would mean in this context. So yes, this is definitely a more lighthearted approach. You'll see a much more just like, I don't know what's going on kind of version, but I respect everything that's come before, and I really look forward to seeing what DC does with Jessica as time goes on, because this is just the beginning moment. She's going to evolve, and I'm sure they're going to have darker approaches to her and lighter approaches to her, and her story is so powerful, and I'm honored to be part of it.
How would you, I guess, since you've done this, DC Supergirls, the more younger, skewed to a young audience, all ages, would you be open to doing a more darker, more adult version like in the comics?
Absolutely, I would love to. And again, whatever they have decisions they have to make in terms of the tone of the film and what kind of vocal quality that person has to have, but I certainly would love the opportunity to get to do a darker version of it, so that would be a blast.
With the Green Lantern core movie they're going to do the live action, I hope they include it. And usually DC Animation is really smart about doing it animated to dovetail that one, so you might see her again.
We'll see. We'll see. I would be, again, it's just regardless of whatever happens in the future, I'm excited because I think this is the first moment of Jessica, and there's going to be a lot more of her. And in whatever capacity to be part of that, I will be greatly honored.
So the humor, is it, in the movie for you, is it, a lot of times the humor could be very direct, or a lot of times the humor you could be saying something and playing it totally straight, but it's funny. So how was it for you in this?
Well, I think Jessica's always just trying to not mess up, basically, in the film, and so I think she's inadvertently funny a fair amount, where she's like, she wasn't trying to make a joke. There's a really fun moment where she accidentally makes fun of Batman's utility belt, and she was like, oh, can you get it out of your pouch thingy that you have? And he was like, it's a utility belt. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, so I think there's moments where she's just like, she's trying to, she's inadvertently hysterical just because she's trying to do the right thing, and it's not working out. So,
aside from Jessica, are there any other heroines or villains in the DC universe that you want to play?
oh gosh, there's so many good ones. So many good ones with rich and complex histories. Characters like Catwoman and Poison Ivy, like those are really beautiful characters that I would love to have a chance to do any of those in this movie for sure. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.